Ever wonder why one bad night of sleep can make your gut rebel? Or why constant stress makes your stomach feel like it's always in knots? Well, today I want to dive into the unsung hero of your gut-brain health, and that's your nervous system. So we'll talk about why your body's communication highway can either calm inflammation or crank it up. And I'll share with you one insight from my own Oura Ring data that might just make you rethink how you rest. So stay tuned. Hey friend, welcome to Gut Fix. Are you ready to finally get rid of those debilitating digestive symptoms? Do you catch yourself staying up late Googling things like, what can I eat? Or how do I stop a flare? Or maybe you're just lying awake wondering, how did this ever happen to me? I'm Wendy, and I've been exactly where you are, desperately searching for answers, but determined to find natural solutions. And like you, I was overwhelmed by all the conflicting information out there and unsure of what might really work for me. And so now in this podcast, I'm here to share with you what I've learned, how to listen to your body's signals, and uncover the common mistakes that might be standing in the way of your healing. So grab your favorite drink, pop in your earbuds, and let's dive into your health transformation together. Hey friends, and welcome back to Gut Fix. So if you've ever noticed that after a stressful week, your digestion just goes completely off the rails, or when you have one lousy night of sleep, that can make your stomach do its own protest march. And I want you to know you're not crazy. It's your nervous system, and it's trying to tell you something. And so this is one of my favorite topics. And that is that the bridge that connects your gut and your brain, your nervous system. And I want to share how stress and sleep directly impact that gut health and why your vagus nerve has everything to do with it. And even if you take a peek inside of, I'll even let you take a peek inside of some of my own Oura Ring data that will show you just how powerful rest really is for your gut. So let's start with a little bit of the science. And don't worry, I'm not going to, go all geeky on you because that's not my style anyway. But I'm going to keep it simple. So you already know that your gut and your brain are in constant communication with one another through the gut-brain axis. We've talked about that previously, and I'm sure it's not new to you. Basically, this is that superhighway of your nerves, your hormones, and those immune messengers that are talking to one another 24/7. And the traffic cop that's in charge of all of that, well, that's your autonomic nervous system. And specifically, we're talking about the vagus nerve. So when you're relaxed, that vagus nerve, it sends a green light to your digestive system saying, hey, it's safe. You can go ahead and digest now. And when you're in that fight or flight mode, or chronic stress, or worrying, or maybe you've had too much caffeine, the same signal will flip to red, telling them, shut off all the digestion. We've got a problem here. So your body, it cannot tell the difference between, you being chased by a bear or your inbox at work is just exploding with unanswered emails. Either way, your digestive system will hit pause. And that's why stress can cause bloating, it can cause constipation, and even nasty flare-ups in people with IBD. So then we add in the sleep. And this is one of the most underrated gut healers out there. And I have to be honest with you. I've been asked this question before. If you could get everyone on the planet to do just one thing, what would it be? And my answer is always the same, is to prioritize sleep and work on getting that 7 to 9 hours of good quality sleep ideally at the same time every night, working with your circadian rhythm. And the reason is, that's when your body is, it's resting, it's digesting, it's repairing, right? And your gut microbiome, when you're sleeping it's actually working very busily, right? It's repairing that intestinal lining. It's balancing out the inflammation. And it's even producing those neurotransmitters like your serotonin, your happy hormones, right? So I've been tracking my sleep with my Oura Ring for, it's probably been over 3 years now. I'm maybe a little bit obsessed with it. But every single morning when I wake up, I check to see how I slept the night before. And I can usually tell when I wake up if I've had a good night's sleep. But my Oura Ring really tells the true picture. And on nights when I hit that solid 90 to 93 on the optimal score, I can see that I've gotten at least an hour and 15 minutes of deep sleep. And then I know that my energy, my digestion, and my mood it's like I'm a completely different person because I've had that deep restorative sleep. And when I cut corners and I'm trying to do last minute things before I go to bed and I look at the clock and I'm rushing to get to bed, I notice the next day that I have a little bit more brain fog. I sometimes have those lovely 3:00 crashes in the afternoon, and I might even see some bloating issues. And so again, one quick note to know, when the idea of getting to bed at the same time, ideally, between at 10 o'clock is perfect, is that 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. window. You really, really, really want to protect that time because that's when your gut is doing its repairing. And, even by adding an extra 15 minutes of deep sleep a night, that can make a complete noticeable difference in your digestion and your cravings. And so, let's be honest, stress can be very, very sneaky. And I hear it all the time. No, I'm not stressed. I have no stress in my life. I'm really feeling quite relaxed. And yet it's not always obvious. It's not always that you have deadlines or you're having arguments or you're just too much on your plate. It can be that quiet mental load that you carry all day that just never, ever shuts off. And when your stress hormones like cortisol, when they stay elevated, they will eat away at your gut lining and they'll disrupt that gut microbiome. And that means in the long run, you're going to have more food sensitivities, more inflammation, and yes, even those flare-ups or quote unquote mystery symptoms, right? So how do you calm down that internal storm? So here are a few of my very favorite go-to resets that can literally just take minutes a day. And one of my favorite is deep breathing or vagus nerve breathing. So try inhaling for 4 counts, deep breath, 4 counts in, holding it for 4 counts, and then exhaling pretty forcefully for 6 counts. And if you do that, say 3 to 5 times, you can literally feel your body start to calm down. And that whole nervous system, you can feel it calming down. Another big thing that you can do is to turn off all your screens a minimum of 1 hour before you go to bed. That blue light really does disrupt that whole circadian rhythm. And it's when you learn to turn it off at least an hour before bed, it's like giving your nervous system that permission to power down and not be on high alert all the time. And then another real easy one to do is to, get that sunlight and also get a little bit of movement after you eat. So, about, 10 minutes after you eat, even if you just get outside and take a little quick walk for 5 minutes, that can really help your nervous system calm down. And then you want to get out in the morning, ideally for 15 to 30 minutes prior to 10 a.m. Getting that sunlight, that's going to, and ideally without sunglasses on, that's going to reset your circadian rhythm and support your digest. So all of that sounds so simple, right? Yet I'm going to tell you that it is wildly effective. And so here's the magic formula for your gut-brain connection. It's very, very simple. Better sleep plus less stress equals calmer nerves and a happier gut. Calmer, happier gut. You don't have to overhaul your entire life, and you don't have to do it all overnight. You want to start with one small shift. Maybe that's going to be focusing on deep sleep this week. Maybe that's going to be focusing on getting to bed by 10 o'clock and getting that full 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Or maybe it's just regulating your stress. I want you to track how you feel. If you use like an Oura Ring, like me, or a Whoop bracelet, you're going to see the results in your data, your readiness score, your heart rate variability, and even you'll notice it in your digestive patterns. And so, like I say with everything, the goal is not perfection, right? You want to start with the awareness and then just build on that. Just keep stepping forward and keep stepping into it. And when you understand how your nervous system acts as that bridge, you can finally support both your gut and your brain from the inside out. So, if today's episode hit home for you, if you're realizing that your sleep, your stress, and your digestion are more connected than you ever realized, then you're right on track. And if you're ready to go a little bit deeper, I'd love for you to book a free discovery call with me. We'll talk about what your body's trying to tell you and how we can personalize a plan to bring your energy and your digestion back into harmony. Because, remember that healing, it's not linear, but it's never going to happen in fight or flight mode when you're constantly in that fight or flight mode. It happens when your body finally says it's okay to exhale. It's okay to calm down. It's okay to rest. So until next time, get some deep sleep, do your deep breathing, and as always, stay happy and stay healthy. Talk to you next week. Hey friend, I hope today's episode brought you some real value. If it did, would you take just 30 seconds to share it with a friend who might be struggling to get her gut in check? And if you're feeling extra generous, leave me a review on Apple. It absolutely lights me up knowing that this podcast is making a difference for you. All right, it's time for me to grab my protein shake and get my gut happy. I'll see you back here next Tuesday for another episode of Gut Fix. And until then, stay happy and stay healthy.